Hi, I'm Michael Tom, and today I'll be reviewing the novel Unwind by Neil Shuttersman. Unwind is a dystopian and science fiction novel that was published on November 6th in 2007 that portrays a nightmarish United States in the near future. A major plot point is the occurrence of a second civil war over abortion between pro-choice and pro-life groups. Technological advancements in bioengineering resulted in widespread success in organ harvesting and transplantation. To end the devastating war, the government passes unwinding laws that satisfy both parties by allowing parents to essentially disassemble their children for their organs to be donated to those in need. The main story follows Connor, Visa, and Lev, all teenagers with their respective life issues and signed up to be unwound. Connor is a rebellious and troublesome kid that attempts to run away from home. Visa is an orphan deemed inadequate to continue living according to the state. And finally, Lev is a strongly religious person who has been raised to believe that the donation of his body is honorable. The three teens team up to fight for their survival, with authorities hunting them down. They also encounter other unwinds to encourage them to also question the law that threatens their existence. Blurring between the lines of life and death, this novel touches upon a large variety of themes from abortion, violence, systematic oppression, inequality, morality, and perspective. The main conflict in the novel in Unwind is between Connor and Riza's battle over the control of their body and the preventing of their unwinding. Their goal later grows into an effort to resist the institutions and systems that oppress them and others alike. This is an example of character versus society conflict, as Connor and Riza are contesting the social norms and laws of this universe. Another significant conflict includes a character by the name of Roland, who acts as the main antagonist who opposes Connor as a fellow unwind and aspiring leader. He is fearful of Connor's influence and power over the other unwinds as he competes for his own authority and control. Throughout the novel, the trio manages to overcome these obstacles and make small changes to slowly create a brighter future. The overall structure of Unwind is quite creative and engaging, with the most prominent feature being a perspective with multiple points of view. Along with some secondary characters, this perspective of Connor, Lev, and Riza are all portrayed through different chapters with the focus on one character at a time. Chapters often include insight in motivation, thoughts, emotions, and even internal struggles to create a truly comprehensive and dynamic experience. I would consider the overall POV in Unwind to be a third person omniscient point of view because the audience is able to collect many different perspectives throughout the book and piece together information and clues themselves. However, it is a mix between omniscient and limited, which does make the novel more creative, engaging, fascinating than if it were to choose only one strategy. As for the timeline, the plot is very linear, with key events following a chronological order from beginning all the way to the end, which keeps the novel clear and organized. There are a lot of aspects that I personally appreciate about Unwind, and the most important of which are that it touches upon uncomfortable social and philosophical issues that are rarely addressed in class. This helps cultivate strong critical thinking, communication, and debate skills as students like myself engage in discussions relating to the moral issues found in the novel. I also really appreciate how the main characters were defined by their actions and choices rather than pure chance or being chosen heroes. As a result, the underdog story becomes more enjoyable and grounded in my opinion. Not only that, but the characters were developed quite well and they had their own memorable identities. In terms of an experience, I cannot express just how important it is to have meaningful and in depth characters. Finally, I enjoyed how the main conflict was between institutionalized systems and the main characters to make us rethink and question whether our systems here in Canada are the best that they could be. To make change, we first need to decide whether we want to change and then what to do. The only thing that I disliked about Unwind is how the chaotic group led by Cleaver ultimately ended. I do believe that it's fitting that each member in the group, other than Nev, met a painful end since they wanted to put everything on the line, including their lives. However, the concept of this chaos group and what they stood for could have been expanded upon a little bit more. If there were other characters to carry out the legacy of Cleaver, then this group could contrast with the main cast of characters, which would ultimately emphasize different consequences of each mentality. The quote, "You think maybe I can believe in that God too," by Lev on page 329, perfectly demonstrates the immense mental change that Lev went through during his character arc and shows how anyone, no matter their circumstances, can change. Lev is only one example of how Unwind encourages youth like myself to never give up on hope or the prospect of change and a brighter future. The line between life and death has always been blurry, and the debate over one's true identity, soul, or mind is deeply rooted in the human experience. As our technology becomes more advanced, feats of bioengineering will only make philosophy and ethics related to life more and more complicated. If we wish to continue on the path of science and technology, we will need to answer these long debated and uncomfortable questions. I would recommend this novel to teens and young adults who are interested in philosophy, technology, science, and politics. Overall, I give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars, and it's a solid novel that makes you think on in depth ideas.